Greetings everybody, it's Emily from Pages in Ink, and today I will be doing the Raven Cycle book tag in honor of the release of The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, which is the last book in the Raven Cycle series. So since I got it today, and I think it was released yesterday actually, I decided that I would do this tag. I was not tagged for it, but I found it just looking for tags to do, because I like to do tags, I just haven't done any lately. So yeah, let's get started. This cover is beautiful, by the way. Tell me you agree, because like, look at it. Anyway, question number 1. In the books, Maura is the relaxed mom that is Blue's friend more than an actual mother. Who is your favorite mom character? My favorite mom character is Nellie from the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd, because she's the maternal figure for Vlad, who's the main character, after her best friend, who is his mother, dies, as well as her best friend's husband, Vlad's dad, in a house fire. So she takes in this kid who isn't related to her, and pretty much raises him, you know, from that point on. And she does a pretty good job, you know. She has to not deal, but like worry about, you know, teenage things as well as like vampire things, because he's a vampire. You know, she has to make sure that he's fed with blood, which she gets from the hospital where she works. You know, she has to make sure that he's not out past curfew, you know, like a teenager. So even just becoming a mother unexpectedly is difficult, but imagine having like a supernatural factor added on, for example, a vampire. So I think she handles it pretty well, even though the whole situation kind of puts her life in danger a couple times, not because of Vlad himself. Vlad is not the danger, but the world that he belongs to is. And I think that she's very brave, and she does a very good job at raising him. And, you know, it takes a lot for somebody to take in somebody who isn't of their blood and, you know, raise them up. So, Nellie. Question number 2. Adam wanted to go to Aglionby so he could one day escape where he came from. Have you ever dreamt of living somewhere else? Where? Yes, I have, and as to where is not really a specific place. It's pretty much anywhere where there is magic and adventure. Because for me, I feel like my life is just kind of boring. Right now it's just been work and helping mom with her musical and coming home, which can obviously be pretty boring. So it's just kind of, you know, anywhere where there's adventure and excitement and magic would be a good place. For example, Neverland, because I am attempting to Disney bound or like dress up as a Disney character as Peter Pan today, so I have my green bow and a red bow to be like the feather in his hat and like a green shirt, so it's the best I got. But anyway, moving on. 4. Gansey has searched for most of his life for a buried king who has promised to grant one wish. What is one wish he would ask Glendower? So I have 2 wishes, and I don't know which one I would ask, so I'm just going to share with you the 2. The first one is to know where I'm going in the world, because sometimes I wonder if I'm meant to do things that are down a different path than the one that I'm walking, and there's like no diverging road, or, you know, I'm going down the right path, but I might end up going like the wrong way at a fork, and it kind of bothers me a little bit. I feel like if I'm not going the way I'm supposed to go, then I'm gonna be like 35 and have to backtrack and try to find my way, and I feel like I don't have time for that. So I'd rather just know where I'm going. And then the other wish would be for something kind of cool that I dreamt up when I was a kid, or not really a kid, it was more like tween kind of thing. But it was this magic locket that had buttons in it, and the different buttons would take you to a different world. I think there's like a Powerpuff Girl world at one point, and like Teen Titans, and now it would be the worlds of some of my favorite books, as well as maybe some older, more beloved worlds. I don't know, but I think that'd be a cool wish, although it's probably not one that can be granted because it's pretty impossible. And even though magic is pretty possible, it's just, you know, it doesn't work. Moving on. 5. In this series, you get to see Greenmantle as a fleshed out character, but also as a villain. Name your favorite villain. I just realized I skipped one, so I will go back in a second. But my favorite villain is, is the Darkling from the Grisha trilogy, because he has villain tendencies, but sometimes I feel like, you know, maybe he's just misunderstood, or not really misunderstood, but like he himself does not really know what he wants, and he makes some pretty bad decisions trying to figure it out. He's also pretty gorgeous, and at one point I actually kind of shipped him and the main character, Alina, but, you know, it's not the best way to go. But he's my favorite villain. Okay, going back to question 3 that I skipped. In the second book, we meet the Gray Man. He is a hitman who loves poetry. Name the book that you thought was going to be one thing but turned out to be something else. So I'm going to go with The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. My grandmother told me about this book, and I thought it was a non-fiction World War II book. I don't really know why or what I thought it would be about, but I was just kind of like, another German thing. And then I saw the trailer for the movie, and I was like, oh, it's non-fiction. I mean, it's fiction. It's fiction. So I was like, okay, well, let me give it a shot. And I really enjoyed it. So I thought it was going to be some boring non-fiction, ended up being some thrilling fiction. So don't judge a book by its giver, I guess, is the best lesson to learn from that. Number 6. Blue's got her Raven Boys, who makes up your bookish team. So most of my people that I guess I would put on my bookish team, I have actually become friends with. So that would be like my friend Kira, who is Heir of Pages on Tumblr, but she doesn't use it very much. She's also sassiest of them all. Then there's Pooja, who is the evergreen reader who actually hasn't been on Tumblr very much because of school, and we actually haven't talked much, but you know, not gonna throw a fit about that. There's Sasha, who is Whisper of the Silent Winds, both on Tumblr and on YouTube. Sophia, who is the questionable Hufflepuff on YouTube as well as Tumblr. And then also my friend Danny, who is Fancy Faye on Tumblr. She also has a bookler, but I don't remember what it was, what the URL is. So I'm just gonna go with Fancy Faye. But those people would be in my book team because, you know, they tag me in things. They're my friends. I've actually talked to them like outside of just Tumblr itself. Pooja, Kira, and Danny have all read my stories that I try to write and then like stop halfway through. So I guess they're my bookish team, and I'm kind of happy with my team. Okay, 7. Ronan is a badass with a sensitive side. What book have you read that was action-packed but had beautiful emotional scenes as well? So I decided to go with Darkest Minds, even though there's only one like really emotional, actually technically, well, it's all one big scene, but I'm thinking of a specific moment, and it's toward the end, and I'm not going to go into detail about it. But there is one scene in here which is beautiful and emotional, and I like loved it, and even to this day it like has not necessarily an impact, but I do come to think about it from time to time, especially lately, which I'm not going to explain. But so I went with this one because it's definitely full of action, and then there's like that one emotional scene that really kind of stuck with me. So this is a great series, and I don't think I talk about it enough, but you guys should definitely read this series. Alright, 8. Noah has a heart of gold. Who has touched your heart recently? No one really recently. I guess if I had to absolutely pick somebody, I think it would probably be my work friend Veronica, who's starting to become kind of a friend of mine, because you know, I'm able to talk to her about what I've been going through, and you know, we've talked on the phone and we talk at work, and she's kind of like the closest friend I have at work. So I guess if I had to pick anybody, it would be her. But other than that, there's not really anybody. Alright, 9. Calla is a woman who speaks her mind and puts her foot down when necessary. Who is your favorite strong female character? Before I hold up the book, if you are a watcher of my videos, I'm pretty sure you know the answer, so give you a second to guess. Okay, seconds up. Celaena Sardothien. She is my favorite badass strong female character because she's strong in a whole bunch of ways, but she also has her flaws. And I think that's great in a character because a lot of characters are written with like 1 or 2 little flaws that like are overlooked because they're supposed to be this strong character. But Celaena struggles with things so often you see her flaws, and I think that's really great, and she's definitely a well-written, strong female character, and I love her. Okay, last question, number 10. Chainsaw is an awesome Raven Boy pet. If you could have one exotic pet, what would it be? What would you name it? So, I really want a phoenix. I know they don't exist, but I want one. As to what I would name it, I don't really know. I guess if it was a boy, I would name it Aiden, because it means little fire. Which is also one of the characters in one of my books, by the way. Or my stories, because it's not really a book yet. As for a girl, I don't know what I would name her. I don't want to name her after one of the characters in my book. So I guess it would just depend on the personality of the phoenix. But I would love to have a phoenix. I think they're spectacular creatures. You know, they have healing abilities, and they live for quite some time because they die and they're reborn from their ashes, which is kind of a cool concept. Yeah, so that is the Raven Cycle tag, and please check out either the Raven Cycle series if you have not already read it, or be ready to embrace the ending that is the Raven King, because the end is near. It is coming. Gansey must face his fate. And I don't think I want him to. I love the very first, not the line of the book, but like the top part of the summary, not excerpts, so the summary that's on the little book flap. It says, "Nothing living is safe, nothing dead is to be trusted." That can't be good, because Noah's just, yeah, that's just not, it's not going to be good. So, that is all I have for that tag today. I do plan on doing my 2 book talks I need to do, and then I'm done with videos for the day. Sorry. And then you'll see me next week. So, yeah. I will see you guys then, and I wish you guys a happy reading. Bye.